Hello, everyone, and welcome to Inua, a story in ice and time, which is a story-rich point-and-click adventure game. Now that the exocolonist playthrough is done, I figured until I find something that I want to do a full playthrough of, I will do a little bit of everything and anything on Thursdays. And we're starting off with Inua. And I mean, if the story grips me enough, I will probably keep playing it until it's done with. But yeah, you can expect just about anything to pop up on Thursdays. So yeah, let's jump right in. Nice. Seems very heavy, but it's in water, so it's not as bad. Oh, well, that's less than ideal. Oh. Oh no. Okay, not sure what. Oh. Oh, it's in different places? Same symbol? Alright. I definitely hope that this will be explained as we go through this. Oh. Aw. Poor polar bear. Hey, polar bear.
This life was explained to me through the story of Nanuruluk, the colossal bear.
Nanurluk? I don't think I can say it the way that she did.
No paws, teeth, nor others' patience measured to its own.
Going by the name of the game, I'm going to guess that this is going to be from the perspective of Inuits?
It walked the earth for many seasons, growing until the land was too small for its comfort.
Alright. I know that it's going to be from the perspective
David,
of several
me.
different people. I guess this is the first one. Hippolyte.
I didn't wake you, did I?
No, I'm up. Just fixing myself a coffee. So where are you now?
I just reached the Parks Canada research ship.
Alright.
Freezing my ass off waiting for Dr. Gervais to come show me around the boat. It's minus 15 here, more like minus 20 with the wind chill and...
Yeah, I didn't send you there to report the weather, Tana. Did you get a chance to read over the documents I sent?
Yes, sir. Got it all in my backpack in case I need a quick refresher. But as of 4 a.m. this morning, I'm a full-fledged expert on the Franklin expedition. Ready to turn it all into a great story. So long as I don't pass out in the middle of the interview.
Damn it, Tana. I thought I told you to get a good night's rest.
That was the plan, until my connecting flight was delayed for 8 hours.
Oh.
But at least it gave me plenty of time to get my mind off that weird dream.
Can you please just focus for a couple of days? I don't want to regret giving you this opportunity.
Uh-oh. Sounds like someone needs to finish his coffee. Well, can't stand around all day chit-chatting, David. Some of us have work to do.
Grizzly old bastard, yeah. He's right, though. This is a great opportunity. Might as well get to work.
Hello? Hello? I have an appointment with Mr. Gervais. Alan?
Great start. He can't hear me over all the fuss. Explore the surroundings to find tokens. Article. Alright. To enter their mind. Tokens are ideas you can instill in a mind to interact with the world. This journalist has her head up her ass. She's barely spoken to me like I'm invisible. Her loss. Who does she think suggested looking here in the first place? If I hadn't spotted that mast in the ice last winter, they'd still be combing the seafloor 100 kilometers north of here, back where they found the Erebus. But yeah, sure. Talk to the Qualunaut scientist? I am going to butcher these names, unfortunately. I do not know how to pronounce things in this language, so yeah. What could you possibly learn from some Inuit kid? Yeah, sorry. Maybe I should take one last look at my notes. Might help to get my facts straight for my story. Alright. April 22nd, 7:30 appointment with Alan Gervais, Parks Canada. Location, Parks Canada research ship. Mission HMS Terror Bay. Nice name. Okay. 3,159 kilometers, 2 stops, 43 hours to get there. Wow. The Franklin expedition left England in 1845. 2 ships, Erebus and Terror, both state-of-the-art vessels for the time. 134 experienced sailors aboard. 1850, last time anyone saw the boats. Since then, 40 corpses discovered, 90 still missing. Poisoning? First tombs found on Beachy Island. Ships found in Cambridge Bay. What really happened to the Franklin expedition? What happened to the rest of the crew? Good question. What really happened? Yeah. That's what I'm here to find out. I can't talk to him about anything else, okay? Wait, weren't we expecting a visit from that journalist today? Talia? Something like that. I can't say I'm too keen on the idea, but the communication department seems to think it's good PR for Parks Canada. Speak of the devil.
So you're the journalist.
Yes.
How long were you planning on loitering outside? You want to freeze to death or come aboard?
Funny guy. I should try to make a good
You
impression.
must be Alan Gervais. I'm Tina Hippolyte.
Taina, I can't wait to catch up, but my hands are full right now. Why don't you take a look around, try not to touch anything, and we'll get acquainted later, yes?
I just wanted to ask if you...
Fantastic.
I think that was a good impression. I don't know. Okay, not bringing the bag? Apparently not. Good publicity for Parks Canada, they said. That's if she manages to write anything at all. We'll be lucky if she doesn't throw up from seasickness. Then again, if she does, at least we'll have a good laugh. Okay. Tina learns about the expedition. Alright. Discoveries. Okay. I remember an old story the elders used to tell about two hunters who found the wreckage of the Erebus before it sank and went in to explore. Down in the belly of the boat, they came across a grinning giant, standing there completely still in the dark. Later, we figured out it was probably the frozen corpse of one of the crew, and the grin would have been due to scurvy. Hopefully the fish ate the bodies a long time ago. I don't need to see any of that. No, probably not very nice. The discovery of the Terror is a landmark moment in the history of Canada. The Franklin expedition is the stuff of legend here. We learn about the search for the Northwest Passage in school. A few years ago, then Prime Minister Stephen Harper launched an expedition to locate the wrecks. But he didn't just want to unravel the mystery of what happened to the crew. He also wanted to assert Canadian sovereignty in the area. I want to find the truth behind the myth. The more I think about it, the more I'm amazed by what we've found. The wreck of the Terror is in near perfect condition. I bet the thing would float if we could bring it to the surface. If we keep on at this rate, we'll soon understand what really happened to the Franklin expedition. Well, let's hope so. Hello, Maggie Nuren. Here comes that journalist. Okay, Maggie, try not to say anything stupid.
Now, what's a nice ship like the HMS Terror doing in a place like this?
You know, we're not completely surprised by where it ended up. We knew
Okay.
the Terra had been stuck in the ice with the Erebus about 100 kilometers north of here.
I read about that. That's where things really started to go wrong for the Franklin expedition, right?
Right, and since the Erebus was found further south in 2014, we figured the Terra would be somewhere between those 2 points.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Still, it was a stroke of luck that anyone found it at all, and in such good condition.
It must be so exciting. Imagine all the things we could learn from this.
We won't have to imagine for much longer. Hey, are you gonna use any of that in your piece?
Don't think she knows yet. I got a glimpse of the officers' quarters when we were in the submarine. Maps, scientific instruments, not to mention the captain's office, all perfectly preserved. But the one thing I really want to get my hands on is the ship's logbook. We could learn so much about those final days aboard the Terror. I don't think the logbook would be preserved. The divers have looked, but they can't find it anywhere. Maybe someone beat us to it. I mean, wouldn't the paper, or at least the ink, have, been ruined by the water? Alright. Cans. Tin cans. Alright. What else can we click on? Nothing, it seems. Or? No. Hello? Jeffrey Therian. Oh man, the journalist is coming over. If I play my cards right, maybe I can get a mention in this piece of hers.
Hi, I'm Tina from The Discoverer. Mind if I ask a few questions? I understand you've made some interesting discoveries.
Interesting would be an understatement. This stuff is groundbreaking. Where do I even begin?
I think what our readers really want to know is whether we're any closer to finding out what happened to the Terror and her crew.
We've still got a lot of work to do to figure that out. Work, Jeffrey. You remember the concept?
Sorry, no time to chat, but have a look at what we already pulled out today. Might be interesting.
You mean the tin cans? I'm a little hungry, but not that hungry. The divers have given the signal. Their search basket must be full. Maggie hasn't noticed yet. this could be my chance to look good in front of Alan.
Maggie, what are you waiting for? Activate the winch.
Huh? Oh, okay, I'll do it right away.
But what? No excuses. Come on, wake up. We've all got a job to do.
It's just that last time I checked, you were on winch duty.
Fine, I'm on it. Better than standing here all day arguing about who's supposed to do what anyway.
Well, isn't this a friendly work environment? Okay. I could have sworn it was her turn. Made a damn fool out of myself. That's not how I'm going to get my postdoctorate. They ate nothing but canned food, had no entertainment, lived lives of constant suffering. No doubt about it, the seafarers of the 19th century lived like grad students. I'd say it was worse. I don't quite see the point of collecting all these old cans, but I guess that's why I drive the Zodiac. Time to find out what was on the menu aboard the Terror.
These tin cans are really well preserved.
We found them on a shelf in the pantry. I wouldn't crack one open, though.
Let me guess. They've expired?
Worse, they may have been tainted with lead from a faulty sealing process.
Ah, yes, I think I've read about that. You think that might have been what killed the crew?
Not necessarily. From our preliminary tests, the levels of lead in the crew's bones are consistent with those of other sailors at the time. Back then, your average Brit was exposed to higher levels of lead than we are today. The joys of living through the Industrial Revolution, I guess.
We'll have a toxicological analysis completed in the coming months. Then we'll know for sure.
Alright. Judging by the racket, it sounds like they've hauled stuff up from the wreckage. I hope they find something while I'm on board. That'd really help my story. Hey, Alan. Anything we find on board the Terror may offer clues to what happened on her last voyage. Okay. Remains. Okay. It's not easy to make the dead talk. Who knows what happened on board that ship? Even after all these expeditions, I still get creeped out when we find human remains. I'd say that that's a normal reaction. Halloween's come early this year. Okay. Ever since Cynthia entered this witchcraft phase, I feel like I'm surrounded by skulls. Teenagers. Jesus, that sounds just like my dad. Wow, skulls. I got here just in time.
Are those the crew?
How would they know?
It's been a long time since anyone found human remains from the Franklin expedition. This must be a landmark discovery, Dr. Gervais. Just 87 more and you'll have the full set.
Indeed, it's quite the breakthrough, but as is often the case with these discoveries, these remains pose more questions than answers. Why would so many of these men have remained on the ship? They could have risked it and tried to reach the continent on foot. Instead, they just waited here to die.
The expedition's not over yet. Maybe you'll find your answers.
Maybe, or maybe we'll never know.
I mean, you'll never know the exact truth. You can navigate freely between eras in order to unfold the story. Okay, let's go back in time.
Lieutenant, a decision must be made. and made quickly if we are to have any chance of surviving.
Hello, Simon Woodruff.
Mr. Woodruff, might I remind you that I am the last remaining officer on board?
And hello, Lieutenant Graham Gore. Fitting on a ship named Terror.
I, and I alone, will make the decisions about the crew on this ship.
Oh boy.
There are barely 30 of us left. The summer ahead looks to be as cold as the last. Sir, we must abandon the Terror.
Yeah, he's the reason they died then. Because he wants to leave.
Abandon the Terror? Nonsense! You would be well advised to hold your tongue on such matters.
Sir, I beg you, please. Listen to me before it's too late. If we leave now, I'm sure we can still...
The only thing you can be sure of, Woodruff, is that your next word on this will be your last.
Like, seriously? That fool. He's risking our lives. He hasn't got what it takes to be in command. But the men still follow him all the same. Is it fear? Loyalty? Or is it just blind obedience? I have to find something to convince them to leave this ship with me. Should I tell them about my dream? No, they'd never believe me. I'm not sure I believe myself. There has to be something else. Okay. Diana discovers Graham's skull. Oh, okay. Reuben reveals Graham's secret. Okay, who's Reuben? Huh. Reuben Campbell. Henry Clark. Escape. Firepower. Death. Okay, well, the Terror was a bomb ship, much like the Erebus, repurposed for Arctic exploration. She survived the War of 1812 expeditions to the Arctic and Antarctic too. Can't say I've had such a distinguished career, and yet here we both are. We could load up those lifeboats with as much as we could carry and drag them south. Food, provisions, items to trade with the Inuit we might meet along the way. It would be hard work, but I don't see an alternative. Dozens of us have died already, and will join them if we continue to do nothing. But these men are prisoners of the old world. They haven't the stomach to question authority. How many more must we lose before they listen to reason? No, if anyone else has to die, it should be the bastard that keeps us prisoners here. I'd rather convince him, but I'll do whatever it takes to get off this boat. Yeah. The lieutenant has us exercising the guns every morning, even after everything that's happened. He says it's good for discipline, but it feels more ridiculous with each passing day. If there was a way off this ship, we would have taken it already. Besides, what would we even do out there? How would we survive? How would we find our way? We wouldn't make it far without help, and who's going to help us? I would have never become the lieutenant's aide-de-camp if Smith hadn't died. Some promotion that was. He spends most of his days locked in his cabin. always muttering to himself and scrawling in that logbook of his. Maybe I should tell someone about what I saw this morning. Or maybe that would be more trouble than it's worth. So what did you see, I wonder? Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. With thee will I destroy kingdoms. I always found it easier to memorize the parts about fighting. I wonder why that is. If the lieutenant says we stay here, I suppose he knows best. And it's hardly like I have a better plan. We'll have to bury these poor bastards as best we can, but who's going to bury us? If only I could read, I could find comfort in that Bible the pastor gave me before I left home. Let's wait with him. Hello, Josephus McHanigan. Anyway, I'd be surprised if those cannons could even fire after so long in the cold. And yet Gore has us running them out every morning. For what? What's he expecting to fight out here? Seals? Polar bears? Good question. Lifeboats. Huh. Some good those will do us now. They'd be better used as firewood. I refuse to die here. I long to see Scotland again. I must return home. Ellie, my love, Moira, my treasure, nothing will keep me from seeing you again. Well, nature might. I'll do whatever it takes to get home to you. William Lockett. All this military might, the most advanced ship in Her Majesty's Navy, but what good are all those guns out here? Yeah. Months ago, a few men left the ship to try and leave a message in a cairn nearby. God knows how far they got. We never heard from them again. I wonder whether the lieutenant has listed the names of the dead in his logbook. He certainly spent enough time in his cabin. Typical. Here we are freezing to death and that bastard has his own private room. He's even got a window. Not that there's much of a view right now. In these conditions, the soul is tested as much as the body. It's not a test many of us have passed. Alright. We're the boys that fear no noise, whilst the thundering cannons roar. Boom, boom!
Campbell, you worthless layabout.
Aye, sir?
What's the status of the cannon?
In full working order, sir.
At least, I think it is.
Yes, capital. Keep up the good work, lad. We'll make a sailor of you yet.
Huh. Not for very long. Incredible, Lieutenant. You even managed to maintain the lifeboats during this whole ordeal. I was merely acting according to the principles instilled in me during my training, Admiral. I assume you've already met my daughter. I have yet to have the pleasure. Enchanté, mademoiselle. Yeah, that's never gonna happen, sir. Erebus, deep darkness, a mausoleum. She was a mausoleum by the end. Cold, disease, and starvation. Not for me, no, no, no. That hull, so thick yet shattered by the ice. No choice but to leave. Had to sail away aboard the Terror. But who will pay? Who will pay the price for abandoning the Erebus? Questions will be asked. The Admiralty will want answers. Me? No, surely no. It was to be such a brilliant career. But if I can save the Terror and all who sail in her... Parades! Parades! Parades in the name of Lieutenant Graham Gore. You've already lost, what do you say, 30 people? So saving all of them, kinda hard. What's this? Ah, okay. Alright. Oh. Ah. Logbook. September 10th, 1848. This is Lieutenant Graham Gore, last surviving officer aboard HMS Terror. Though our situation is dire, I have full confidence in the Admiralty. I am certain that as I write this, a recovery operation is underway. As such, it is my duty to ensure that the Terror is ready for inspection when we are rescued. November 17th, 1848. Years at sea with only these wretched, illiterate seamen for company, the conversation is hardly stimulating. Better to spend my time in my quarters, finding solace in one of the many volumes from the ship's well-stocked library. I must read the latest Dickens before these Philistines use it for kindling. December 16th, 1848. Mr. Dickens, I hope this letter finds you well. I myself remain icebound in the Northwest Territories. I require your assistance in persuading famed Arctic explorer Sir James Clark Ross to lead a rescue expedition. Sadly, I have never met Sir James. I am, however, well acquainted with his cousin Albert. Do you know him? February 2nd, 1849. Stripping her for all she's worth. Her boom boom. Her ding-a-ling-a-ling. No. A canary in the mine. Plum bum the depths. Poison. Meaty oarsman. Fatigue sets in. Dragging the boy and his magic lantern. Wrapping a stone man in the dancing image. 3 hunting or only 1? Where did your 2 brothers go, poor Yorick? Okay. Someone's gone cray-cray. Alright. Logbook. Perhaps one day someone will be able to catalog all the errors that brought us to this point. That's assuming the officers have been recording all of their decisions. Yeah. Those officers with their endless meetings, big dinners, comfy cabins, writing in their logbooks. And look where that got us. Good riddance if you ask me. I have to say something. Woodruff will know what to do.
Mr. Woodruff, I need to speak with you about something I saw in Lieutenant Gore's cabin. I saw him writing in his logbook again this morning, but he seemed distressed. I was curious, so I took a look. My reading ain't so good, but it was nonsense, sir.
Yeah.
The mindless ramblings of a madman as far as I could tell. I'm worried he's beginning to crack under the pressure.
I see. You've done the right thing coming to me, lad.
If what Ruben says is true, then the men need to know. Alright, well. Simon incites a mutiny. Yeah, we're gonna start that mutiny next time. Because, yeah, I'm definitely going to continue this because it's intriguing. But for now, this is the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider leaving a like and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye!